dos Cules. I was just reading a lot about this. I'm going to tell you all about it because I was just reading it. It's about the Coolie trade, the Chinese Coolie slave market trade in Macau. And not too far from Seattle Square, this is the Cules street. And that kind of goes into some other areas as well. I think what we're going to try to do is try to capture a couple different things, and then Cules will be our target street. Dos Cules. Hey, check it out, Macau 2023. Check out some more streets. So this is our dos Cules. I kind of want to read a little bit about it, but we'll just kind of give you some context of what's around here a little bit. Got these little bancos. Down here is Seattle Square, so I think I'm going to read about it while sitting over on that yellow building over there. In the distance is Seattle Square, which is a major tourist attraction and really beautiful to see. But I'm going to walk over here. There's Seattle Square down in that way. This kind of gives you a little idea of what Macau is like. And then our target street is going to be this one, dos Cules. It's named after the Coolie trade. And it was funny because I was just reading about this, and they're just talking about this book is this one by this author. Very interesting book. He talks about the history a lot and about the way that Macau used to look like. And he has like a maps in here, all kinds of amazing stuff, pictures and everything, including this interesting garden on this page that was destroyed in an explosion. So back, that house looks so beautiful. But that has nothing to do with dos Cules and what we're going to talk about today. But basically they're talking about 1849, the governor was assassinated, Frara de Amaral, and then they legalized Fantan houses. Fantan houses look like that, which is so cool. And there's a street at the edge of this that we're going to go to as well, and that one is called Felicidade. So we're going to go to a patio as well with Cules, and we'll kind of talk about a lot of the history here. And so that's a Fantan house. But basically what happened in 1849, they legalized gambling in Macau. That's still true today, that gambling is still popular. And then 1851 onward, a new profitable trade called the Coolie trade, which is regulated by the Portuguese government through an agreement with China. So China gave them the rights, gave them the consent of the Chinese government, which granted Macau the right to handle this trade. And then there was a lot of abuses, bribery, forced shipping of workers. So they say it made it no better than slave trade. It was hiring Chinese workers to meet the demand for labor, especially after the abolition of the slave trade throughout Europe and the Americas in the early 19th century. Cuba, so most of the people went to Cuba, were needed as slave laborers for sugarcane, most of whom came from Macau. The business was not only profitable for the traders who were directly involved, but also for the Portuguese colony through taxation. So the colony made money off of taxing off of these businesses, and they were predominantly, I think, Chinese and Macanese and Portuguese, and they were given legal permission by the Chinese government to do this in the colony of Macau. Okay, and they were talking about different things. They had a government decree making it mandatory to transport workers during September and October in steamships instead of sailing vessels, which were too rough, and it didn't really work. And they were doing all these immigration laws. So let me see. Then they basically, okay, so then 1873, the decree suppressing the trade, so as a humanitarian act. So I guess it didn't last that long, 1873, and it started in 1951. So now, for people that don't really know, myself included, I guess it lasted about 1851 to 1873. So there's a lot more in this stuff, in this book. It has amazing history, including a lot of stuff I wanted to know about. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to walk down dos Cules, and we're going to give you a little idea of exactly what this street looks like. You won't see the history in this street except the street name, but we are going to go through some things that do have some histories in them. Okay.
Yung mga hindi mananakaw.
So this is called Rua dos Cules. This also leads up into a Filipino area, Alfandega, if I pronounce that right. I never know how to pronounce that properly. It doesn't look like a typical Portuguese word. But we're gonna walk by that one as well. And I realize I'm moving a little bit fast. I apologize for that. Try to slow down a little bit. So I don't know why the street was named Cules. Those are some mysteries that I kind of want to know. I heard that there was like, I've heard different things. So one of the things that I heard was that, well, I can only speculate, but that it was, there were just like streets that you go to, because a lot of Macau had streets where you would do certain things. So you would buy your rice on this street, you do this thing on this street. So I'm gonna guess that maybe Rua dos Cules was a reference to a street that you would go to find the brokers, because they legalized it through in that situation where they would sign contracts and became kind of indentured servants, and then I think they would pay off their contracts is what they would basically do. But then there was references to being no better than a slave trade and a replacement for just outright stealing people. But I did hear that Macau did have some issues where people did actually, you know, want to try to get rid of certain people, and they would sell them into it unwillingly. But I don't know how common that was. So that's our Target Street, and I'm gonna just do a couple of other things here. I'm gonna go up to a Pátio, and I'm also gonna go down this Mercadores. If you saw my other video, I was at Faux Brother, which had amazing food. But what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna work our way up to the Pátio do Cules, and I'm kind of going to talk about the Fantan gambling houses as well, because we're going to go to the street that had that. Huh. This street has this business has the Mercadores. So I really should focus on Mercadores as its own street. I haven't in a while. So much cool stuff. They're promoting something big tonight that's going to happen in this area, and this street here, Travessa do Terra Nova, will also be part of the new things happening in this area. So we got a little guy promoting it. So yeah, this whole street, they're going to be talking about the Grand Prix, and then this particular street is slated for major change. Peking dumplings. And so I'm going to be going up towards where the Fantan houses used to be, and the nightlife and sing-song girls. This house looks pretty cool. This area is going to really change in the near future. And I have filmed it in the past, and I should be filming it more often, because there's all these little becos and cool little alleys, and I think they're really going to transform in the future. So I'll definitely have to, I'm also reading another book about this particular street. So yeah, our target is definitely about, we got some seats set up for tonight. Actually, this is a good place. So I guess I won't stay here, but let's look at this real quick. So these Fantan houses were in Macau. And they would have been in buildings like this. And also the sing-song girls, which would have been entertainers, so they would be up in the windows trying to get customers. Or maybe they'd be downstairs trying to get customers and bring them upstairs, more likely. I'm gonna come in here and film, hopefully tonight, if it's not too dark for the camera. It's a lot to film and say about it. So yeah, this one, the Sing Song Girls, let me flip around real quick. So that guy, Julius, he's been here the whole 10 years I've been here. I've always seen that guy with that business. So it's nice that that business is gonna get more money coming in. So let me tell you briefly, there's Fantan houses, gambling, opium, and then when we read about when we were reading about the that's a really nice view right there. Okay, so we're gonna go up the hill a little bit. This is called Felicidade right there. Okay, so when we were reading, there's a lot of policemen today. I guess they have a big event tonight celebrating the Grand Prix. So we're gonna go up to the other little patio that I want to focus on. Yeah, this is the Alfandega. So that's the other street that so let's just go up to this patio real quick. We're going up towards St. Augustine's at the moment. I don't know if let's go up like this. And I think our patio is like right in here. Let's go up like this. Here it is. Patio dos Cules. So now I can explain it. So Patio dos Cules. Yeah, I was wondering too, like that one was a Rua dos Cules. So maybe that's where they had the businesses at. And then this one, they could have had business as well, but it's a patio, which means maybe they housed them here or something like that. And I kind of do wonder, like these older buildings, like this one to the left, if they housed people sometimes against their will before they shipped out. But I just don't really know. Because traditionally these patios would have been like a little community neighborhood, but they also have a gate at the front where, you know, they could technically, you know, keep people in. Oops. I forgot I wanted to show. So yeah, some of these are kind of small like this. So anyways, there's a lot to digest in this video. But basically the Coolie trade lasted 1851 to 1873 or 75. There's also the opium references, because originally they talked about, it was what, 1850 I think, 1849, when they banned opium, and then I think the power of Hong Kong started coming stronger, a lot stronger, because of the law and the changes of things. So 1849 would have been when Hong Kong was established, and then I guess Hong Kong was the one that stopped the slave trade, according to our book. What was that again? I should probably just look at it real quick. So they stopped the slave trade. So 1851, so let's just kind of review this real quick. So assassination of the governor, 1849. Fantan legalized in 1849, 1851. The Coolie trade. There was agreement between China and Macau. Many people went to Cuba, and then it ended. Here's our Fantan house again, and then ended in 1873 by a decree by Hong Kong. So Hong Kong would have had the more power. Altruistic measure on Macau. It died out. Many people were thrown out of employment. So and there was still trade existing in Hong Kong. So people were kind of pissed off because they stopped it in Macau. But then there was kind of a anyways, very interesting. So okay, so hope you like that one. Yeah, a lot to be said. Hey, check it out, Macau 2023. check out some more streets.